right. Welcome, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Uh, I think we are a couple of minutes past, so let's just get started with our today's webinar. My name is Manas, and I'm a product manager in the security operations team. I would be joined by Pete Karchi, who is also a product manager in the team, and we both will be talking through today's webinar. So today's webinar is all about getting started with security operations applications. Just a basic primer of what we have as security operations, a suite, product suite, and basically all the things around it. Like why do we need those applications? How do we use those applications? And then finally, what are the use cases where you could probably use those applications in a better manner to suit your business needs? So let's just get started. A few housekeeping slides. First of all, I just introduced myself. You can see my picture up there, and that's Pete on the left side. We both will be presenting the session today on security operations. A bit of safe harbor notice. We aren't planning to cover any forward-looking statements, but in case we do in this session, our standard safe harbor notice will apply for this presentation as well. Cool. Uh, Standard housekeeping slides, a slide here. There is time in the end for Q&A, but you can always use the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen along the way. And we have the rest of our team also present on this webinar, and they would be happy to assist you with all your queries. And there would be a couple of polls also shared during the webinar. So we would be happy to have you record some of those responses, and we'll be prompting you as and when those polls and surveys come up during the webinar. All right, so here is our planned agenda. We sort of discussed in the beginning, we will be starting out with what is security operations, and what are the basic different basic applications that comprise within the security operations suite. And then we sort of cover the how part, where uh, we cover a few use cases or scenarios where we show how you can implement SecOps within your business environments. And then finally, we wrap our webinar by the why section, basically highlighting some of the value propositions, some of the benefits that you can achieve, or some of the goals and outcomes that you can achieve with SecOps. Right, so this will kind of encapsulate very well why why your business might need the SecOps product suite, and how that might help you. And we'll follow up with the resources towards the end, which will contain all our links to our documentations and all our video links as well. And we'll follow it up with the Q&A towards the end. All right, so let's just start with the webinar. Uh, Before we get started, here's a quick poll question for you all. And as you can see, the poll is up. So would really appreciate all of you putting your responses. And I'll just wait for like 10 seconds and we can move forward. Note that whatever responses that you share will also help us in understanding your business needs. What are you looking to expect, or what are you expecting from this session in terms of security operations? And this will help us in tailoring our sessions in the future as well. So, all right. So yeah, thank you for your responses. Let's just move ahead to the next slide. All right. So we have a couple of slides that kind of detail out our product landscape, so that it's pretty clear how we are positioned and stacked up in the security operations market. So basically, our security operations portfolio includes a suite of solutions that fit into two broad areas. On the one side, we have the ability to respond to vulnerabilities across cyber attack surfaces. And this is largely achieved through our vulnerability management solution, right? Including the vulnerability response as well as the application and container vulnerability response applications. And as you can see that this covers a range of areas which are all addressed through various different offerings. So these are all covered over here, right? So infrastructure vulnerabilities, application vulnerabilities, cloud vulnerabilities, and so on. The other piece that we have is the security incident response, or the SIR product that we call it. And that gives us the ability to respond to incidents across enterprise security functions. And within that, we have a bunch of other products, intelligence solution, data loss prevention, incident response, major security incident response, and so on, right? So uh, this also has a bunch of products within its suite, right? So these are two broad categories of product offerings that we have: vulnerability response system and security incident response system. And if I may just sort of capture that information in another graphic, uh, you can see on the left-hand side, we are kind of capturing the vulnerability response systems that we have, and the product suite that captures that. And we call it the VR product line, and the sort of the attack surface management use cases covered with that. So it comprises of all the applications and tools that you can use to anticipate, understand, and close your vulnerabilities, right? So over here on the left-hand side, you can see the attack surface product line, which is also called as the vulnerability response system. And on the right-hand side, you can see is the enterprise security case management systems, where you have the ability to move quickly and respond to security incidents. And you may want to check with your account teams to ensure what is it that you are actually looking for. For instance, a vulnerability response system, and within that, which kind of sort of vulnerability response system that you're looking for. Is it like application vulnerability or cloud security vulnerability or container vulnerability? And you will be able to use the corresponding applications for that, right? So I hope our product landscape is quite clear. And let me move to the next one. So this kind of details out our security incident response product in more detail. And you can see with the graphic out here, uh, this will give you a high level view of the security incident response workflows that we have in the Now platform. And so with this product, the security incident response product, we can unlock automation and workflows that enable us to respond to incidents faster. And this is a high level view of that process, right? So by integrating your various security and SIM tools, you have one central system of action to view and prioritize alerts. So all those alerts get in from different sources like Splunk, Zscaler, and these all get assimilated in the ServiceNow CMDB, where all of those security incidents are then triaged with advanced threat intelligence, again coming in from various sources. And then, once we have triaged that with the threat intelligence tools, uh, that kind of enriches the incidents to better organize and orchestrate the response actions and direct those responses right from the SIR tool, followed by post-incident workflows like completing configurable reports. Right, so it gives a nice flow to your incidents, and your analysts have a great control over how they are viewing those incidents, responding to those incidents with the advanced threat intelligence that they have, and also finally capping it up with reports uh, to sort of report that to the senior chain of management. A similar graphic is followed for the vulnerability response product line. And this is the high level view of how the VR workflows work. On the attack surface management side, we have the VR product line, which is giving customers the visibility, prioritization, and automation of vulnerabilities across the enterprises. So this starts with integrating scanners and setting up your vulnerability calculators, assignment rules to enable automatic risk scoring and grouping of vulnerabilities as well as assignment to the right teams across security and IT. Right, so you get those vulnerabilities again from various third-party sources, and you can then prioritize. You can assign risk scores and assignment rules all to your vulnerabilities to better manage them and have better visibility of the vulnerabilities of your IT environment. In addition, we have the solution recommendations and patch orchestration as well for these vulnerabilities. And so basically, you can connect with our integrated risk management solution and have a better sort of orchestration of patches and solutions for those vulnerabilities as well. And lastly, we have the rescans, which can confirm whether the vulnerabilities have been remediated. And then if they have been, we can just close them out, right? So it covers the entire loop from ingesting those vulnerabilities in the Now platform to sort of prioritizing them, making sure we are assigning risk calculators and assignment rules, triaging them, applying patches and solution recommendations, and then finally closing it out with the rescans and checking that whether those vulnerabilities have been remediated or not, right? So this is how the VR product line can go through. In terms of resource highlights, there are a bunch of resources that we offer and you can leverage to understand the product line and make sure that uh, whatever functionalities that we have or the value propositions that we have um, are sort of better communicated to you, right? So uh, we will go through each of these resources in more depth in some of the next slides. So starting out with product documentation, this is the place where you'll find all the latest product information and release notes, technical product information, as well as some other helpful content like setup guides, instructions on learning about entitlements, and so on. We will be sharing these links with you in the chat as we go on. Next up, we have demo and video resources. We have our community YouTube channel. There are a lot of videos across YouTube, um, and which are created by other third-party creators. But we also do have our own ServiceNow playlist, ServiceNow channel on YouTube where you can go and access all these nice videos that capture SecOps use cases pretty well. So we have the Nowsys demo that's been released pretty recently, so you can go out and you can check that out. And basically, we have demo center as well, where live demos are regularly scheduled. So these are some of the avenues where you can view some of the demo and the video content that we have created. Next up is our Now Learning platform, which offers training and certification courses, and we regularly update SecOps fundamentals, SIR, VR implemented courses, as well as other relevant learning paths as well. And we have created a community post that captures the comprehensive list with the links to recommended trainings for SecOps, which again we'll be sharing on the chat. Next up, we have the SecOps community, the security operations community. This is a central hub for SecOps users across the world. where you can share resources, best practices, and post questions to get solutions from ServiceNow experts. We also regularly post articles and blogs on the community channel about the product and upcoming webinars. So we recommend you and your team to subscribe and get those updates. And our quick start guides for VR and SIR are likely to help you to get some more reference at this stage. Again, links of those will be posted in the chat. And then finally, we have ServiceNow developer site, which is our developer ecosystem, a great resource for more technical team members and is open to all level of individuals. It includes detailed technical documentation, and it's where your team can sign up for our free developer program, where they can collaborate with other ServiceNow developers and gain access to a personal developer sandbox instance to download the ServiceNow applications for free and experiment with the Now platform, right? So it's a good place for your more technical team members to sign up and collaborate with other ServiceNow developers, um, and get a personal instance as well to download those applications and play around with it. So the developer program is free to join the developer ecosystem for all levels. There is this ability to collaborate with developers globally. So please do encourage the developers on your team to sign up for this program. Uh, and again, we have a bunch of links for the developer ServiceNow community channel. And so you can go ahead and access that once that's on the chat as well. All right, so at this point, I will be transitioning the slide deck to Pete, and he'll be taking it forward from here. And finally, I'll be taking it up after Pete finishes. So Pete, it's all yours.
Awesome. Thanks, Manas. I'm going to share my screen here. Give me a moment. And just got to hit all the proper buttons in order. And there we go. I assume at this point, everybody can see everything okay.
Yep.
Awesome. Thanks, Sarah. Appreciate it. So, we're going to just talk about how you get on your implementation journey with your SecOps products here next. So, quick poll here from Sarah. We'd like to know where you are in your journey, just if you're planning to implement now in this quarter, or if you're planning to implement this year. I haven't had it made a plan yet, or other. And please let us know in the chat what that other is so we can help you out. So I'll let that run for a little bit here, just so we can collect some answers. And Sarah, when you're ready, let me know, and I'll move on to the next.
Sounds good. Still have some coming in. All right, I'll just end it now.
Awesome. So looks like folks are planning to implement this quarter. That's good. Going to have some great information for you here, and for the folks in the year and the future coming up, things to remember and resources to go to. Folks with other, please let us know in chat if you have specific questions. We'll make sure we get those handled for you. And with that being said, I'm going to move on. So, you have some flexibility in your implementation options here. We have basically three models. One, we do it. We help you out with the ServiceNow-led implementation. Expert services will guide you through your implementation with leading practices to accelerate time to value while also reducing your risk. Expert services can lead your implementation or collaborate with your implementation partner in a code delivery engagement to boost your implementation success as well. So you can contact your services executive if you'd like to learn more about those expert services. The next option is a partner-led implementation. Your organization can choose from a broad range of certified partners within our ecosystem that have expertise in implementing ServiceNow products. I'll show you a partner finder a little bit later on, and that's a great way to find them. And then lastly, this is the most common way we see implementations being handled in security operation customers. The last option is self-implementation. It is possible. Your organization leads the implementation and leverages existing resources. This model is not as common or recommended for security operations, where having expert services or an implementation partner working alongside you can really expedite your implementation and reduce the need for rework in the future. So do consider your options when it comes to implementing. Next up, we kind of have this crawl, walk, run, fly concept when it comes to implementing security operations. I know we're iterating on this a little bit more, but it is still an overall pretty good mind map here, right? So having expert guidance throughout your implementation will ensure that you have the right outcomes, functionality, and scope for your implementation. So in SecOps, starting with getting the right data coming in from your platform first, and platform core setup, which includes roles and group setup for whatever scope you're starting with. If that's vulnerability response, application vulnerability response, configuration compliance, security incident response, the whole bevy of our security products. Once you have that data set up and coming in, you can move on to things like reporting and performance analytics. So advancing into these additional apps and data sources or integrations coming in can still be part of this foundational phase, though it is normal to take about 3 to 9 months to move into crawl maturity as you start turning on performance and analytics. Later on in your maturity journey, you can advance to things like using threat intelligence to support your security incident response, integrating your patch orchestration, starting up major security incident management, and moving into cloud security for VR and configuration compliance, which can be completely a different, totally different implementation depending on how you're set up. So with these type of different implementation phases, there's a parity in the design and application. So implementation for VR will be similar to application VR and container compliance, and you'll likely gain an understanding of the overall path for what you can expect along that similar family. For security incident response, there are also different capabilities that require a different knowledge and skill set to implement than VR. But what's great here is that there's beneficial automations that you can have running playbooks from day one. So make sure you check out product docs to see out-of-box playbooks that are available for you to leverage and edit and create your own later on. So from here, let's just look at the maturity model here for vulnerability response. And it comes in different stages. We have it sort of basically listed out from 0 to 3, although there's blend here. And what you're looking at a 0 level is a largely manual and disjointed process without visibility across teams. For example, the dreaded Excel spreadsheet that seems to hold all of your data that you really wish was automated and everyone knew rather than just a couple people updating it on the back end. So you can move away from the spreadsheet into a scanner being emailed over to remediation owners or other security owners to deal with incidents. So as you leverage ServiceNow, you'll move towards this level 1 concept, which is a huge jump, right? You're going to gain automation where you're bringing data into VR, such as setting up risk calculators to prioritize and have a way to filter and determine where to start, grouping similar vulnerabilities and assigning them as though they're being brought into the platform, and overall automating a lot of the manual activity that you saw at level 0 and having far more visibility in one single system of record and action across the IT and security landscape. As you move into stage 2, this is where you start to get a lot more additional understanding with regards to, say, in assignments, having more integrations available to complete your picture of your infrastructure, and the ability to handle vulnerability lifecycle management, including change requests, exception requests, as well as integration and awareness of those exception requests going out to the compliance team. Some customers really want this to be advanced from the start, right? This is where they want to start and this is where they're excited. So if they're already using risk products, typically you'll find this being an early implementation as they work alongside risk and the configuration management database team. In that case, you'll have the ability to use your scanner data to augment the CMDB for an instance where cases where you're finding assets that are not in the CMDB. So in this way, SecOps can help advance your CMDB maturity as well. Lastly, into level 3 here, your enterprise risk trending. This is where you have all your scanners integrated across cloud, application, and configuration scans. Coming into automated workflows, you get a complete picture of your enterprise attack surface. And with that comes advanced reporting and integration with the teams across the enterprise. So it's really possible to get to this level and work towards what you see here, and will help you advance in your maturity as well as alongside your implementation team. Moving on to security incident response. Somewhat similar concept here, right? Where you start off with 0 and you have these manual disparate process across your estate. And as you evolve and upgrade to level 1, you're going to start bringing in your SIEM tools, automated alerts, automated incident creation, prioritization, and automation, and gain efficiency immediately, right? As you progress alongside out of basic operations into automated investigations, you'll have more automated functionality like correlated threat intelligence data to enrich your security incidents from the threat intel module, which provides additional information to help guide and accelerate your responses. And then lastly, into level 3, where you have orchestrated remediation with playbooks set up and have a guided stepwise approach or automated approach for analysts what they're working on, as well as additional integrated tools to provide orchestration and enhance analyst efficiency. Getting to that step 1 is often the first recommended step, so don't be overwhelmed with the more advanced elements. The focus here is really getting to the basic operations and automated prioritization, and that's where you'll quickly get value from ServiceNow SecOps. I will also add in playbooks we have do come out of the box that you can edit and use on your own. You can change them to be manual in nature, or you can change them to be fully automated. That's something you can decide as an owner alongside your implementer at what level of use you want to get out of your playbooks early. So moving on from there, we're going to talk about some story themes here that we typically see when you are setting up vulnerability response across your estate. Now, we've used these themes to provide guidance and understanding on what to focus on first as you get started, right? So we have resources related to these stories and now create that provide detailed steps on which each core step involves. So things like installing VR and supporting its applications, such as patch orchestration, and having that understanding of the user personas, then moving on to the integration step. It's a bit of a blueprint to work on there to support your success. We won't go too much into depth here, but we'll highlight a few, and we'll have another one for SIR later, and you'll notice similar themes, right? So VR change management is something you could get into as early as you mature, but out of the box, it's something really easy to add in and get you growth to that phase 1 implementation step, depending on how much your remediation owner team can really take on. Exception configuration for your remediations that are not able to be met by a target date is another area that's set up out of the box. And it's just a matter of plugging in the approver names into the workflows, and they're ready to use if you have that in place from the start. Also, notifications from vulnerability response is something you'll want to pay attention to early on, right? You'll want to reduce the noise and consider the amount of volume of data you have in VR. Some of our larger customers have millions of notifications that they have to deal with. So being able to deal with these and basically curate them early is going to make your life easier, right? So you might not want to send a notification when, say, an assignment group gets a vulnerability that they come in every day, right? So that's not really actionable, but there might be an organizational training need for remediation owners to know that they should come to their workspace and have that part of their normal workflow instead of relying on those email triggers that they're traditionally used to. Report configurations are also relatively simple from the beginning, as there are a bunch of out-of-the-box common reports that customers use and can schedule jobs that are ready to be activated to collect data for reporting. So it's a matter of deciding where you want to start and how much you want in phase 1, and then thinking about your timeline for the first 3 months, and then 6 months, and then further out. So you have different options for this. Lastly, for VR, just also to mention dashboard configuration, you'll continue to see these changes and how they're implemented and how you get more workspace heavy in SecOps, knowing that really our future in ServiceNow is the workspace, right? We plan to try to reduce the amount of noise and focus on having single pane of glass experiences here. So there are going to be older dashboards that'll eventually be retired out because the built-in capabilities that are now coming with the platform will be embedded in those workspaces. So make sure you gain familiarity with those early because that will be our focus going forward to see continued development with dashboards. From there, let's move on a little bit over to security incident response story themes. So much like the same concept, right? There's these stories, right? So integration setup for security incident response is very similar to vulnerability response, where you start bringing that data in from your SIEM tools, automatically automating security incident creation. And from there, things like assignment rules and playbooks can be layered on tops. And enabling CMDB, your configuration management database updates, requires cooperation with that team. This plays out in your risk calculators and how you prioritize work. And really building out a solid CMDB will only enhance your ability to prioritize and workflow incidents based on things like business context, right? So having your fleshed out CMD will gain you richness in your security incident response tools. But even without it, you still have a ton of automation, risk calculators, and the ability to bring everything into that single pane of glass. So there's a ton of value even without it. It's just you can do a lot more with that CMD maturity. So definitely focus on it and continue to level up and progress that, right? So these story themes, as we mentioned before, are really to give you like focus points to progress from phase one forward into dashboard configuration and other advanced topics, right? You can find all these themes and stories again on that Now Create, which we'll bring up here, I believe, in a little bit. I'll have a link for you. But that's really a great resource to have all the things you need at your fingertips. Okay, so from there, resource highlights, right? Partner Finder, how to find your expert services, and as I just mentioned, Now Create. So you'll be getting a bunch of links here from Sarah as I talk. Please go ahead and check those out. They're really great resources, right? So the first thing up, Partner Finder, right? I talked at the very beginning, right? You're going to implement, you're either going to use us, ServiceNow, you're going to self-implement, or more likely, you're going to need to find a partner, right? And we have this available for you, right? This is a tool you can use to search over 2,000 partners in our broad ecosystem. This is not just a SecOps thing. This is all ServiceNow, right? You can find out what skills they're really great at, and you can like focus on your time to value and return your investment with basically experts in those fields, right? So security solutions are specialized, right? It's important to ensure the partners that are implementing your solution are certified and have expertise in those solutions you need, right? And you can filter those out. Taking it a step further, it's also important to ensure the specific individuals working on your implementation are certified in VR and SIR specifically so they can value that time and return on investment that you need. You can also find their ratings as well as their score from fellow customers that value their implementations and let them know. So it's a very easy way to find out which partners and implementers can help you out in getting you the correct implementation. From there, expert services. This was the other option we spoke about. This can be done with implementations as well as co-delivery with partners with their other best practices resources. Your account team that you have can plug you into this team immediately. They're available to use at any point in your journey, whether if it's further along in your implementation or other issues you have, right? So you can choose flexibility at your engagement level. You can have them to be advisors, or you can have them actually on the front lines. We send out product rangers that help out with implementation, that co-deliver with selected partners. That way, you know you're getting the best resources we've got for your implementation. So be sure to go here. You can check out the packages and sort of tailor what you want as much or as little as you need. Next up and last up is Now Create. We mentioned this earlier. I will let you know you do need to create a login for it, but it's well worth it, right? Because as you can see here, you can really see on-demand guidance and support that provides you success for your ServiceNow project and implementation, right? And we have these all split up into things like success packs, scoping guides, recommended implementation sequences, and other starter stories. There's some really great brand new resources out there for our newer solutions like Threat Intelligence Security Center, also known as TISC, as well as Security Posture Control, known as SPC. So if you're interested in those new products, you'll find stuff there. I am pretty sure you also find Now Assist for security operations, our new Gen AI solution here as well. Those assets will be rolling out. So if you're looking at that, there'll be resources there too. The story themes we talked about earlier from here, as I mentioned, so find those starter stories and Now Create and get that early guidance, right? So as I mentioned, great resource to get all those resources to get started and really get off the ground with your implementation. So with that being said, I'm going to turn it back over to Manas to talk about achieving value with SecOps. So Manas, it is all yours.
All right. Thank you so much, Pete. So let me get started with the next one. I hope you can see my screen. Uh, cool.
Yep.
All right, awesome. So with that, let's just transition into the last section for this webinar, which is why exactly should you implement SecOps? right? So we have seen the what, the how.
Manas, if you're
Now let's
talking, I
just
can't hear you. That might be my issue, though. Can everyone else hear?
I
Yeah, I
am
can hear
able
you
to
okay.
hear. Yep.
Okay, okay. So I'll just go with that, that I'm audible. Uh, yeah, uh, yeah, so basically now we are just going to spend a few minutes on talking on why you should implement SecOps, and what kind of value you can expect with SecOps, right? So as usual, before we start this new section, we have a poll coming up. So would really appreciate all of you answering this poll question. What are our top desired business outcomes? Select the most appropriate response that suits your business needs. We'll give it some time before we close this poll and move to the next one. Cool. I can see a few responses
Great.
coming in.
I think it's slowing down, so I will end it. Awesome.
Awesome. Okay. Great. Yeah, thank you so much for responding. Your responses will be very helpful in assessing what are the top business outcomes that you are looking to achieve with the SecOps product solutions. All right, so moving ahead. So this is a very neat graphic, and this kind of gives a good representation of what is the value that SecOps drives for our business customers, right? So uh, you can see, four numbers written here. I won't go into details of all the four, but let's just cover a few, right? So, uh, we have seen analysts uh, closing two times the number of security incidents on average within 12 months, and cutting mean time to remediate a vulnerability in half in just 6 months. So what this means is that there are analysts who are closing more number of security incidents just because they're able to view those incidents coming in. They are able to assign them properly. The vulnerabilities are also getting remediated quickly, and all that translates to real business outcomes, right? So this is real business impact that gets created due to our SecOps product solutions. And our best-in-class customers are achieving even greater results, right? So these are just the average numbers that you're seeing on the screen, but our top 10 customers, our top 5% customers are achieving even uh, greater business outcomes as these business goals are listed down. So that's just one graphic for you. Uh, Again, some more numbers here. So ServiceNow, our product team at ServiceNow is constantly working with our internal security to build and test new solutions. So our internals, ServiceNow internal teams are also using vulnerability management solutions to respond faster and more effectively to risks. And so, we have moved from using traditional manual labor-intensive processes to respond to vulnerabilities to using vulnerability response solution. And the slide that you see here captures some of the business outcomes that our teams internally have achieved with the vulnerability response solution. So basically, as you can see, we have sort of achieved 99% accuracy in assigning vulnerabilities, which means that out of, let's say, 100K or 200K vulnerabilities, uh, there are only like 500 vulnerabilities that are left unassigned, right? So almost 99% have been assigned correctly. Similarly, we have high SLA attainment and 85% gain in productivity for our vulnerability teams. So it's really great internal results. Again, all possible with the vulnerability response solution. Again, the previous slide was about vulnerability response solution. This one talks about the business outcomes and the impact that security and incident response solution has created. So with security incident response solution, our internal security organization has gained immense value again from moving from manual, tedious, time-consuming processes to being able to prioritize alerts and automate those processes, leading to over $800,000 of savings in staffing costs and thousands of hours saved. Right. So it just improves the productivity of security analysts, enables them to do higher productivity or higher efficiency tasks, and that kind of results in a lot of dollar cost savings. And so internally, we are active users of our own product, and we are continuously improving and implementing new functionalities to reach even better results. So, the way that we think about all of these numbers that we saw in the previous slide, and this kind of slide really captures in a very nice way how we can think about some of our business goals, which are captured as outcomes, the success metrics, which kind of define whether those business goals have been successful or not, and some of the suggested improvements that have happened because of those capabilities that we just discussed in vulnerability response or security incident response. And they are kind of bucketed into two broad segments: cost and risk. Again, different outcomes, different success metrics, but then similar improvements across both cost and risk. So these are just some of the examples that you see on the slide of the typical outcomes that you can choose to prioritize in different implementation phases across cost and risk. And many customers will initially select 1 to 3 outcomes that relate to their key challenges, and then move to the next ones, the lower priority ones. And there are a number of resources on Now Create that we had shared earlier, which include information on outcomes and metrics that you can reference. And there's also a community post that summarizes that all the different outcomes, success metrics, suggested improvements across cost and risk. So you can leverage those resources, those articles, those documentations to map your business outcomes to these ones and assess whether, in terms of success metrics, you are achieving your business goals or improving on those metrics or not. Some of the resource highlights, you can explore the value that your security operations applications are giving for your organization. And these are some of the resources that we want to highlight here. So let's just go one by one through them quickly. So the first one is Customer Success Center. It's a really a one-stop shop to search across all ServiceNow resources, finding leading practice resources, tools, calculators, events, services. So all of that all in one place, the Customer Success Center. Here you can also learn about Now Value methodology, which is a framework to envision, create, and validate value from your ServiceNow products and champion your success. And you will also see that there is a new experience in development. So stay tuned for more resources and improvements coming in the near future. The second one that we have is Value Calculator. It's a resource that has historically been in the Customer Success Center and provides a quick and easy way to see the annual business value that you can achieve using ServiceNow. It allows you to calculate value of multiple solutions at a time or just security operations. However, with the new developments coming to Customer Success Center, the old calculator is being retired. And so there is a new experience that's coming, and you'll be able to find that on the Customer Success page shortly. So stay tuned and check back later for that. It's again on Customer Success Center, so it's going to be refreshed, and a new version of it is going to come out soon. And the next one we have is ServiceNow Impact, which is you can check with your account team about ServiceNow Impact. It's a value acceleration solution designed to maximize the value that you get out of your investment with ServiceNow. So a lot of personalized learning, coaching, technical support, tools. These are all there to help you get maximum value out of your ServiceNow investment. So they can be of great use to understand your business outcomes and how ServiceNow SecOps can help you really achieve those business outcomes against those success metrics. All right, so there are a range of packages with varying offerings. So this is, we are still talking about Impact here, ServiceNow Impact. So there are a range of packages within Impact, and this shows more detail around different options, right? So technical support and tools, learning and coaching, different packages, which include the full range of solutions that you may be looking for to increase your overall impact with ServiceNow investments. All right, so this brings us to the end of our webinar. We'll share the summary of the resources with you all, and the recording and the slides will be posted in the community afterwards. We really hope that it's been worthwhile for you and you will be able to take away at least one new resource from today.